and welcome to Lesson 7 of Speed Puzzling 101 Tips and Tricks. Quick speed puzzling lessons in under 10 minutes. Today's lesson is on the basics of shape sorting. Shape sorting is an important tool to have, but it is often delayed too long or started too early. It is a tough skill to master. As a disclaimer, there is no single correct way to solve a puzzle. My advice may work for some and it may not work for others. I advise you to use all the different types of strategies you know, put them together to find out what works best for you. Make sure to check out the other videos in this series, as combining all the different strategies would be the most beneficial. Today we'll be looking at the basics of shape sorting. It is something that people tend to avoid, myself included, and I didn't really start utilizing this strategy until I started puzzling with others. One of the primary reasons people avoid to do shape sorting is the time commitment you need to dedicate to it. When you're shape sorting, you rarely have the opportunity to put pieces into the actual puzzle. Some, yes, but not very many. So you have to make the conscious decision to move pieces around and organize them without actually contributing to the development of the puzzle. And that is really the only negative aspect to shape sorting, and I often need to remind myself of this. So what are the benefits of shape sorting? As an individual, or even with a partner or a team, shape sorting brings organization. In the chaoticness that is speed puzzling, by doing some shape sorting, it brings a calmness to the activity and lets you be a bit more focused on what's in front of you. Because everything will be organized, the amount of time wasted looking through the calamity of pieces in front of you will be significantly reduced. You will, in almost every case, you will gain back the time that you use to shape sort by going through the remaining pieces a lot quicker. There are also benefits to shape sorting when you are working within a pair or a team, as again, it brings more organization. One of the strengths that I have when I'm puzzling individually is that I'm able to kind of remember where all the different pieces are. Even if not using them at that time, when I recognize space in the puzzle that belongs to a piece that I've seen before, I know where it is because I've placed it there. When you're working with a partner or with a team, other people are moving pieces around, so it's a lot harder to know where all the pieces are. If you are shape sorting, you've put everything into certain little piles, so at least that removes the amount of area you need to look at on the table to find certain pieces. But this lesson is on how to shape sort. You can try it and find out the pros and cons for yourself. From experience, you do need to try this quite a few times. It is a skill that you need to develop. It will be a lot slower at the beginning, and as you figure out your own little strategies and tricks, it will become faster over time. Shape sorting almost takes place exclusively at the end of the puzzle. There are some rare exceptions, but I will not be focusing on those today. So let's look at a few examples and how to actually shape sort. First, when shape sorting, there is an initial strategy that I prioritize, and that is placing pieces in a specific order. As I mentioned before, speed puzzling is always about what comes next and planning ahead. Your most common piece will be the standard puzzle piece, which has 2 innies and 2 outies. You will also need more space for these, so either decide on having them closer to you or further away. Either is fine, it's your preference, I prefer closer. Then, depending on the puzzle and what pieces you have left, the remaining pieces will have a random distribution. For the remainder of the video, standard pieces will still be called that, but the rest will be referred to by the number of outies or knobs each piece has. Therefore, we have 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, and nones. 4s and nones will always have the least amount of pieces within any puzzle. When sorting these pieces, you will want to try to have these in that relative order. My preference is to have the 2s in the middle of the 3s and the 1s. This is because if I'm looking for a spot for 2 outies side by side, I'm limiting the area I need to look at. Same with if I'm looking for an area with 2 innies side by side, I have a smaller area to look at as well. The faster you can sort pieces, the better, which means the fewer pieces you need to pick up and put down, the better. To minimize time, I will slide the pieces to their new piles. This also removes the possibility of picking up a piece and flipping it over when placing it back down. And by having the piles in a 1, 2, 3 order, sliding them to those groups is much easier as well. If there is an excessive amount of standard pieces, then I may pick those ones up, making sure to keep as many facing the same direction as possible in my palm. So when I place them back down, they are still in the correct direction. But when do you do this? It's really up to you. I do my best to limit a shape sort until I have a single section left to work on that is made up of a similar color or texture. In a puzzle like Zebras at the Water Hole, I shape sort when it was just the zebra stripes left. I could do smaller sorts throughout the the puzzle, such as when I'm working on the water or the sky, but that is up to you. Because each section is so small, the time investment doesn't usually make sense. In a puzzle like garden birds, shape sorting when I have just the white flowers left makes the most sense to me. These examples are based on the order that I do the puzzles, however each person completes a puzzle in a slightly different order. In some cases, like the puzzle Joffrey Lakes, it can make sense to shape sort multiple times on how well you do with different parts of the puzzle. You may sort out the sky, perhaps the blue-green water, but definitely you'll be doing the bulk of the trees. You'll want to practice this with multiple puzzles, as how early you'll do a shape sort will vary. As mentioned, the garden birds shape sort takes place with not many pieces left, while a puzzle like Walk in the Rain has a shape sort that could take place with about a quarter of the puzzle remaining. The more pieces that are left, the longer the sort will take. If there are too many pieces, the time you'll dedicate to the sort may not balance out the time for a speed puzzle run. That's why, my advice is to wait until it is a single section. Trying to shape sort all 500 pieces would be insane for a speed puzzle. Don't do that. Shape sorting does not always apply. For instance, random cut puzzles, it's almost impossible to shape sort. There's some strategies to do that, but that's something for a future video, maybe in a few months from now. Shape sorting takes time to learn and adjust to knowing when it's the right time to do it. The biggest hurdle is convincing yourself to stop putting the puzzle together and focus on something else on the table without contributing to the puzzle. Once you're able to convince your brain that's okay, developing the shape sorting technique becomes a whole lot easier. And that is it for lesson 7 of Speed Puzzling 101 Tips and Tricks. Click like if you enjoyed it and leave a comment if you have suggestions or questions. And as always, please click subscribe so you stay up to date with all the videos that are posted on this channel. That is it for today. Class dismissed, and as always, happy puzzling. Bye.